My name's Joanne Ardern. I live at Laoning in Alston with my son, who's autistic, he's 14, and with a variety of animals: sheep, pigs, dogs, as you can see, cats, ducks and hens. I've always worked with horses and on farms as well, so I've done quite a lot of lambing up here and just love the area, and just, really thought it'd be good for my autistic son, who isn't too social. I just think it's the most beautiful area, and the people are fantastic. The weather up on Alston Moor can be very, very harsh. Last year we got the beast from the east, and 6 weeks we were snowed in here. I so wish I had that door that I've got now, because it was just a nightmare. It was a hard time. It was a hard 6 weeks. My son Josh, he's 14. He's autistic. He's been diagnosed when he was 4. He does struggle with life in general, really. Social situations, rules. It's hard, and I didn't realise how hard it was being autistic, and trying to see things from his point of view. What we needed was a new front door. The door that was on was awful, is not the word. It was just horrible. So we'd made all, these draft excluders and things out of the sheep's fleece, and but when we had the beast from the east last year, the snow just blew under the door. It was just awful. We desperately needed a front door, but due to money, and I couldn't afford a new front door. Well, basically it was just on Facebook that I saw there was like they have little adverts type of thing about Help to Buy, and I just sort of read it, and I thought, oh, there we go, I'll just go for it. Not really expecting anything to come of it, and that's why I was so surprised and apprehensive at the same time, obviously. And I think, like probably a lot of people thought, scam. But, I filled in, what you had to fill in. Obviously, no bank details, or asked for or anything. And just sort of waited. The surveyor came round, and even then I kept asking the surveyor, and I did, is this, kosher? Is this all above board sort of thing? I was waiting for somebody to turn around and say, oh, could you just put your bank details in here, please? And we'll be, But no, everything went through brilliantly. Chloe from Help to Buy was absolutely lovely, very, very professional. Obviously, I sort of voiced my fears and, is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? But Chloe was brilliant. She really was, and just taught me through the whole process. I was very surprised, when I went forward with Help to Buy, thinking, oh, you must have to be a rental property, or like you said, council property or something like that. But this is purely for people who own their own properties, and unfortunately, circumstances, whatever that might be, cannot afford to have a new window, a new door, or something like that. So that's why it's so, we're not penalised by owning our own properties. The next part of the process of the Help to Buy things was sending in any sort of relevant information, regarding, in my case, a disabled child, who needs to be kept, warm, etc. It was Safe Style UK that undertook the work, who were professional all the way through, and kept me informed. The initial visit was by the surveyor. He came round, obviously measured up dimensions, etc. And then we could choose, what sort of door, colour, different, knockers, that type of thing that we wanted on the door. It must have been probably 3 weeks later that the door was actually made and fitted, which, was a relatively short period of time, for such a well-made door. I mean, I cannot recommend Safe Style UK enough. They were absolutely fantastic, like I've said, from the phone calls, keeping me in the loop, especially living out in the middle of nowhere. They were absolutely lovely, and, subsequently, one of my neighbours, went on to purchase a door as well. I mean, it just sounds so dramatic, it's only a door, but I cannot tell you how much, it's made a difference. I mean, obviously, being on an extremely low income, we have to be careful with the heating, and I mean, with the other door, it was just going straight out of the door. Whereas now, it's sealed, it isn't a freezing draft all the time. It's great. Well, I think the biggest benefit is the fact that it keeps the heat in. There isn't the drafts and things like that. I mean, I never thought, say 30 years ago, if somebody said I'd be excited about a new door, I'd say, what? But I can tell you, I am. I mean, I would say it was so, of such benefit to people who can't afford, to have new windows and new doors. I think it's nice. I mean, when I had money and I could afford it, the thought, I know it sounds really sort of twee and etc., but the thought of being able to help somebody who wasn't in the same position as I was in, would have been great. I would say thank you straight away. I mean, I can't tell you how I appreciate, the help. Well, they've been brilliant, and I mean, Chloe especially, and yourself, very pleasant, very helpful. I think you're just doing a really, really good service, and I'm really, really impressed and really happy. I know there's a lot of scams out there, etc., etc., but this is not one, definitely, and I'd be the first one if I thought, oh my God, it's a scam and it might, really, really hurt other people. I wouldn't endorse it at all.